Star Wars TIE Fighter Issue 4 heads to Karita, where Bansu Ro and Rak Simro train in their TIE Fighters, with Bansu cutting Rak off and taking out his target for him. The two bicker as they return to the academy and to their flight instructor, who says that they are no longer his problem. The two think that they are being kicked out, but he reveals that the entire class has been commandeered for the war effort. The pilots are excited that they are going to space and learn that they are going to be joining the 204th, thanks to some recent losses on their ranks. The flight instructor reminds the bickering pair that the rank at the academy means little now, and only how they fly matters now. On the Star Destroyer Pursuer, what is left of Shadow Wind argue over Zin apparently being a traitor. The commander says the ISB unscrambled hostile forces communications in the Kudo system and learned that she was communicating with them. Ganem refuses to believe it, but if Zin survived the battle, she would have been arrested, and one way or another they would have been in exactly this same situation. Ganem thinks that they have a spy aboard and the others back him up, since Zin sacrificed herself for them, and that doesn't gel with the actions of a traitor. Commander Nuris doesn't expect the actions of a rebel to make any sense to them, but Brush might have another answer. He thinks Zin was spying on the rebels for them and posed as a potential defector to get information. Nuris says that that could have been the case, but whatever the reason, it has proven a gift to them. The commander pulls up a star map, saying that they have known for a while that Imperial defectors are headed to a base somewhere, and the reason they haven't found that base yet is because they believe it to be a ship. Thanks to Zin, however, they have a time and location where said ship will be, and it's up to Squadron 5 to accompany some bombers to do an attack run. Brush wonders why there is such a little attack force, learning that the rest of the 204th is needed elsewhere for a multi-pronged attack, but they have some new members that will join them. After the briefing, Ganem thanks Brush for his help in the meeting, but Brush says that he didn't do it for him, and he tells him that if Zin had intel for the Empire, she wouldn't have just kept it to herself, and he blames himself for not seeing how she could have been a traitor. Ganem says he couldn't see it either, and they both speculate that it's because the ISB would have been looking at them, especially Ganem since Zin cared for him and that got her killed. Brush leaves, telling Ganem that his loyalty isn't in question, but his judgment is. At Ryleel base, Rak and Bansu are shuttled up to the arriving transport, where they meet with their new squadron. Brush isn't too happy that he has been sent cadets to join their ranks, and soon confronts them, saying he doesn't understand why he was sent them, and as they try to explain, he cuts them off, asking if they have done any combat runs, but they don't answer him, so he leaves, telling them try to not to get anyone killed. Going to the mission briefing, Brush details their plan of attack, as well as the recent data breach with Zin. Ganem asks if they are to take any prisoners, since they should know how the rebels are contacting their people and turning them, but Brush says that if all goes to plan, they won't be a rebellion left to track down. Years ago on Coruscant, a young Ganem spends time with his grandmother, who can't believe there are 7 generations of their family, with Ganem being the 7th. Ganem isn't interested in what she is talking about, but she reminds him that the Republic prefers pilots who listen. Ganem reminds her that the Republic isn't a thing anymore, and it's the Empire now, but she thinks it's still the Republic at its core, and the Emperor is just a man, and he will be like every other man in power. He will do what he wants to get what he wants and then pass on. Helping his grandmother up, Ganem says that she shouldn't talk about the Emperor like that since droids or people could be listening, but the woman says that people have better things to do than to listen to an old woman, and besides, she can, and anyone else with sense can see that it won't last since the Senate still holds power, and that won't be going anywhere anytime soon. Getting them some tea, Ganem asks her if this is the right thing to do to join the academy, but his grandma spills her tea, saying only good people will keep them flying straight. She says that they can thank the Emperor for ending the Clone Wars and the Jedi, so what he has done now isn't so bad after all. She tells Ganem to go to the Academy, meet a Nazgul, and maybe the 7 generations of pilots will soon turn to 8. She makes a toast with Ganem, toasting to his flying and to the heart of the Republic and for those who no longer can. Star Wars TIE Fighter Issue 4 was another really great issue that made it hard not to root for these characters. Their stories and drama surrounding them is great, and reading their reactions to not only their dead squad mates, but also learning that one of them might have been a traitor was pretty compelling stuff. The inclusion of 2 new squad members this late in the game is quite strange, since there won't be much time for any real development to happen through the next issue, since the next issue is the final issue in this series, but I'm very intrigued to see what will happen in this final mission before the book ends. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10.